Well, hello, it's Mornin. Hope you're doing well. It is Friday morning on our week talking about thankfulness. Again, maybe you're watching this in the regular schedule and it is Friday morning, or maybe you're watching it another time. Whatever the case is, it's good to be with you. Hey, you know what? I use a program for doing this called OBS. Open Broadcasting System or Open Broadcasting Source, whatever it is. It's a great little program if you're going to be doing your own podcast or live stream or whatever. OBS is a great system. It's free and it's fun. But it, like software does, it updates. And Jake helped me set this up, and he's really good at that stuff. My son Jake. Um, but it updated and it changed some settings. So one of the things it did is it widened my camera angle, and I know how to fix that, but I hadn't fixed that yet. And I thought, hey, now you can actually see my hands. I'm a hand talker. I talk with my hands, and so I've noticed when I'm watching my videos, I'll be standing and I'm just kind of like this in the video. But what you don't know is that my hands are often going crazy like this down here. So now you've got a little bit of a wider view, and sometimes you can see my hands and whatever. Anyways, and then I'm looking at myself talking right now. I can see it, and there's a bit of a lag between the program and my voice and so forth. So yeah, my voice and my mouth aren't matching up perfectly, and I'm trying not to be distracted by that, but it's okay. Technology. I'm glad I have a son who's good at that stuff, and he's generous with his time to help out his old man. We've been talking about thankfulness. Enough of the kibitzing. We've been talking about thankfulness. Um, so let's carry on. The first one we did on Thanksgiving Monday was Thankful Within, talking about being thankful for the work of grace that Jesus, that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, that they've done in our hearts. The gospel of Jesus, his salvation work for us. And then the next one was being thankful without, being thankful for the others that around us that know Jesus as well, being thankful for their salvation um, and for their faith in Jesus, and trying to remember that that's important to be to use as a starting point when we're dealing with people. And there are conflicts that we have, especially this day and age in 2020. The world seems to be very polarized. But for those of us who are believers, our starting point should be our union together, our unity as believers, and our unity in Jesus. And we should be starting there, not not starting from the point of discord, but starting with the thing that unifies us, and that is Jesus. So that is that. But today we are looking at thankful even so. So we've done thankful within, thankful without, and now thankful even so. And this is a verse that doesn't actually say thankful within it, but the idea of thankfulness can certainly be seen within it, but seen within it in a different way, maybe in a way that you wouldn't think to be thankful for normally. So let's have a look at the verse. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. When troubles, let's just underline that. When troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. I've had the opportunity to talk about this a couple of times. I talked about it at a men's Bible study. I talked about it this summer with my church during a sermon, and I talked about it at Koinonia Christian School here in the Olds area um, to a chapel there. But just quickly, dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Have you ever thought of taking a look at the difficulty that's within your life, the challenges you might be facing, and look at that and being joyful about it, being thankful about it? How could you do that? Like, why would you do that? It goes on in verse 3, and it says, sorry, says, "For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow." The trials that you suffer and the difficulty that comes your way, even in those difficult things, God is at work. And God is teaching you and molding you and shaping you and sharpening you to become closer to Him and to help you become the person that He wants you to be, that He knows you can be. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is and when specifically God sticks his finger into a situation and says, this is going to happen exactly this way, and I'm going to bring that about. I know that he does do that, but I don't know when he's doing that, and other times when he's just saying, I'm going to allow life to unfold as it would unfold. So there are times when in his sovereign will he steps, no, I want to be careful about saying stepping back, but he allows things to happen the way they're going to happen. And then I think there are other times when he steps in and performs a little bit of a miracle or something and makes things go a particular way. Life is difficult. Life is not easy. We think of so many of the biblical characters, and we always go to the fact that, oh, they were miraculously delivered. And yeah, there were some amazing things that God did in that way. But don't forget, David still had to, on his own, with no real support behind him, nobody believing he could do it, he still had to walk out onto that battlefield and face a professional soldier who also happened to be a giant. Abraham still left everything that he knew and headed to a land he didn't know. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were still thrown into a fiery furnace. Daniel still spent a night with the lions. Paul, what are all the different things that Paul suffered, being shipwrecked and flogged and whipped and stoned and attacked and left for dead, and all those different things that he suffered? People still suffered. And Stephen, the martyr, the first recorded martyr in the scriptures, standing forth and preaching the word and explaining to the leaders of the law, the religious leaders, who Jesus was, and that just like their forefathers had maligned and made difficult the lives of the prophets, they had done so with the Messiah himself, and they were angry, and they took him outside the city walls and they stoned him. Even he had a miraculous deliverance. His deliverance was to be into the presence of Jesus himself that very moment when he passed. Life is difficult. Life is difficult. But in the midst of those times, we need to remember that God is still at work. And when the difficulty comes, that is an opportunity for us to see that God will sharpen us, grow us, and make us stronger. I think often we come to our difficulties and the difficulty hits and disrupts everything, and we go, wow, why is this so hard? And where is God in this? And what's happening? And why is this happening? And God, where are you? And God, where are you? And why? And where? And why? And we go through this difficult time, and then things kind of even out. And then after a long period of time, we look back and we go, oh, now I see God's hand. And yeah, we're human and we don't see God's hand often, but for hindsight, to be able to look back and see it. However, James is affording us an opportunity to flip the script. And instead of going through all of that anguish, not that we won't struggle, but instead of ripping ourselves apart with anguish, he's saying, start at the beginning with the understanding that God is moving. You may not see it. You may not know all the ways that's going to work out, but know that through your difficulty, at the very beginning of the difficult period, remember that God is working and that through that difficulty, He is going to strengthen you and draw you closer to Him. You can trust that because you can trust the character of God and the fact that He loves you and He's a God of grace and mercy and righteousness and holiness, and He acts consistent with His character. What we're talking about here is a total perspective change. Instead of the woe is me, life is difficult, the perspective is, wow, look at that. That's difficult. What is God up to? Where am I going to find Him in the midst of this? But I know I am. I don't know how, I don't know where yet, but I know I am. So instead of wondering why God, trust instead in who your God is. And then you can, at the beginning of it, say, I know who my God is, and I know that He's working on me and making me stronger, and He's developing my faith. I will attack this difficulty with that instead of attacking it with the woe is me. Okay, I think that's kind of a cool lesson. But there you are, dear brothers and sisters. When troubles of any kind come your way, look on them with joy. Or, for this week, as we focus on one word, look on them with some thankfulness for what God is doing in your life. Okay, have yourselves a great day, and hopefully we'll see you at youth group tonight, which should be a good time, 7 o'clock tonight here at the church. It is Games in the Dark. And then tomorrow night on the This Is a Serious podcast. I'm recording this the week before, so I'm not sure what the timing of that podcast is yet, but hopefully I've got that information out to you already so that you know. But there you go. Okay, take care.